Hello, hello, folks. How y'all doing? So it is Wednesday. It is halfway through the week, and I wanted to give you another set of diction rules, in addition to double dipping and doubling down on the dreaded fun with phonemes. I promise you, if you do this work, you'll make huge discoveries with your voice. Hello, Rick. Good to see you. So let's first talk about fun with phonemes, and then we're going to, well, if you stick around, I'm going to teach you about the tappables. So fun with phonemes is where you make sure that every single isolated sound makes it on the target pitch, so that you have a first coat of paint on everything that is absolutely precise. From there, you can then pressurize and amplify those sounds with the diction rules, okay? But we don't want to pressurize or amplify something if it's not absolutely perfect. So let's take happy birthday. Two pitches, right? Bum, 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 two pitches. But how many phonemes do we have? We have a, p, e, b, b, a, e, b, f, d, e. So you have 10 sounds you have to make on two pitches. There is a very high margin of error here. Think about it. You have to make 10 different sounds while phonating at only two different pitches. Can you think of the miracle that is singing and speaking? Like your brain is regulating your airflow and the closure of your vocal folds and the length and tension of your vocal folds to vibrate at two separate pitches to the order of 110, 220 hertz per second, something insane, while also moving your mouth, tongue, lips, jaw, larynx in a way that affects it 10 different times, 10 different things. So that's why singing is so hard and weird, and also speaking. So let's take happy birthday. You have to break it down to make sure that a, p, e, b, d, e, happy birthday. Just that is a wax on, wax off lifetime of exploration. That will save your life. Let's try it again. A, p, e, b, d, e. I can tell my duh is not perfect. D, 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 e. So what you can do is actually repeat it at least 1 to 3 times. A, p, e, b, b, d, 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 e, where there's a pulse. And you get into really tuning and precisely putting those sounds on those pitches. Now you might ask, but Tom, why do I have to do it on voiceless consonants? So why am I doing, there's no pitch there? Aha, I don't know this to be true. I bet there's research to support it though. That the H that is preparing for an A on a particular pitch is a slightly different laryngeal position than the H that is preparing for an oo on a lower pitch. So you are making these subtle, tiny, pre-phonatory gestures. So you want to practice the hearing the in your head. The a's coming. E, b, d, e, I could just tell how not perfect it is. I mean, Joe Schmo would have known. I don't know if my brother would be like, that is a 2 cents off your A440. Brian, if you're watching, I don't think you'd hear it. But you know when you listen to some juicy, pitch proficient, like very clear, just clear singing. And it's because on that level of discrete control, the masters have Olympic level quality. On top of that, you can do all the fun stuff. I think all of us want to skip to the fun stuff sometimes. But I will give you the fun stuff. Hello, Debbie. Welcome. Are you ready for the fun stuff? After you've done fun with phonemes, of course. You are ready for the fun stuff. Okay. If you want to learn all about the diction rules, just listen to Betty Buckley. I have a bias. I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, right? I was born in 1976. So I was started being interested in music theater in like 1986 or 7, which is when Les Mis, Miss Saigon, Phantom of the Opera were all the rage. And Eponine OMG was belting a C before OMG was a thing. Before the interwebs, before mobile phones. So my bias is very 1980s music theater. I just like it. It's dramatic. But I like all forms of singing. But I find that Betty Buckley, in the role of Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard, is the gold standard of the diction rules for moi. And I would like to share her with you. So you have to listen to the way she uses old movie voice and really sucks the juice out of every single consonant. So the text in the beginning is, I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted scenes, the painted seas, the sound here. Yes, a world to rediscover, but I'm not in any hurry, and I need a moment. So if you listen, she does not use mushmouth. You really hear every single isolated consonant. Hello, James. Hello, Kristen. She applies every rule. So listen, I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted seas, the sound here. Yes, a world to rediscover, but I'm not in any hurry, and I need a moment. She does a couple tricks. I'll post the video below here. The tappables, you've heard me say the nasals. She really does those nasals. And I need a moment. She doesn't say moment. She goes moment. She's vibrating the actual consonants. But if you listen to, anytime there's a T, D, K, or G, you want to build up pressure between your tongue tip and your alveolar ridge, or the top gums, or the back part of the tongue and your soft palate. So if it's a T or a D, it's like hi-hat, or the more you pressurize here, the less you'll pressurize here. I don't know why I'm frightened. Now, I don't know why I'm frightened. I don't know why I'm frightened. It feels like the pressure that you build up in your mouth gives you all this extra sound that you don't have to use an unnecessary amount of breath pressure or vocal fold thickness to get that power. So the next thing you're gonna add is the T, the D, the K, and the G. And listen to Betty Buckley. If Betty Buckley and Jane Monheit and Jessie J had a baby, that would be a diction diva from the North. So listen to how she does all those, especially like The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways. The atmosphere is thrilling here. It's all those crisp little flicky sounds. In a Laban way, it's like very flick or dabbing. Okay? What did you hear or observe in this particular video? You should have heard, do fun with phonemes. Everyone should be doing fun with phonemes, where you're repeating each phoneme 1 to 3 times. In addition to all the diction rules we've talked about thus far, you're going to add the tappables. T, D, K, and G. T, D, K, and G. T, D, K, and G. What do you hear when I'm applying the diction rules versus mushmouth? I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted seas, the sound here. Yes, a world to rediscover, but I'm not in any hurry. That I call mushmouth. Versus, I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted seas, the sound here. Yes, a world to rediscover. What do you hear? What does it do to the sound when you're in mushmouth versus diction rules? Pop some adjectives in the chat window, and then we'll call it a night. What do you hear? What do you hear those two differences? More precise, more focused, resonant, more power, less effort. Why not avail yourself of that? Right? So surprisingly, a lot of voice technique is actually mouth technique. Yes, a lot of voice technique is actually mouth technique. You set up the instrument and the filter, and then some of these things and some of these things don't need as much work. Kristen says it amplifies and brightens the sound. Great. So you have more power, more ring, more projection for less work. I feel if I'm doing mushmouth, I have to use more throat or respiration to create the illusion of power versus beatboxing with Andrew Lloyd Webber lyrics. Okay? Great. Those of you watching this later and in the future, pop your questions, your comments, your hopes, fears, dreams, and goals in the comments, and I'll happily answer some questions. And make sure you're still posting your videos so I can offer some more feedback, okay? Thanks for coming to this edition of the Tom Burke Weekly Voice Challenge live with Diction Rules. See ya.